Hi, how are you? I hope you've been keeping well and that you are enjoying your day. For those of you who could be in situations that are not enjoyable or are not good, I pray that things turn up for you. And I also pray for a lot of patience in the waiting. And I pray for a lot of joy. And if you can look back and look at the things that you just want to be grateful for, so that you can have hope in the moment and in what God has for you. Yes, my name is Spirit. If you're here for the very first time, on Tuesdays, I take this opportunity to just share our experiences about living in the UAE and just to hope that whatever we have gone through or whatever we have learned can be a lesson that we can all benefit from, and also, yes, learn from you, also you who has left your home country to another home country, the lessons that you can share to make someone else's move less hectic. And maybe it might not necessarily be a move, but you could be thinking of traveling to the UAE and you're wondering, what is it like? What should I do? What should I be aware of? What is not as important, but what is very crucial? So that's why we're here. And today I just wanted to talk about diplomatic relationships and how we all play a role in how our countries are viewed in other countries. Well, many times when maybe we hear of diplomatic relationships, we start to imagine that it's just the relationship between our leaders and the leaders of other countries, because we say they're diplomats and they're going to represent the countries, and we have ambassadors, and they are the ones who carry the face of the country wherever they are stationed, in whatever country they have been placed. But let me throw in a new angle to this one. See, there are diplomatic relationships that, like these official formal relationships, where we have individuals who represent the country, and they really do their best to make sure that the image is maintained and the country is viewed in high regard. If that's actually what they're doing, that's mainly what they're supposed to be doing, and just build a relationship to also allow the citizens of their country to prosper in this nation where they are diplomats or they are ambassadors, so they're carrying the flag high of their original home country. But there are other kind of diplomats that we also have in nations. We have the citizens of a nation. So when we travel to other nations, we are not designated as ambassadors or diplomats, but we are citizens of such a nation. So what happens is that people perceive a nation from what they read, from what they hear, but the moment they meet a citizen of that nation, they start to now view that nation in light of the citizen they've met, or the person who's lived there, and now they are interacting with this person, and they start to perceive the nation from how the individual from this nation represents or carries themselves. They imagine this is the face of the nation, because how many of us get to meet ambassadors from other countries? They meet with their fellow ambassadors, but we meet with each other on the streets, in churches, in the malls, in schools. We get to meet with each other from all over the world, especially if you're in UAE. We get to meet and interact with people from almost every nation, every country, every tribe, every language, everything. Why is this now very, very crucial for me and you, for you and I? It is because it is a part of that diplomatic relationship that we might not realize affects some of the decisions that a nation makes concerning another nation. And I've actually started seeing how, just not even started seeing, I've just started being more keen on looking at how Kenyans are perceived in the UAE. One of the things definitely about Kenyans in the UAE is that this is not every Kenyan, but this is usually the general perception about Kenyans in the UAE is that Kenyans in the UAE are very smart, very hardworking, and we have one of the most beautiful accents from Africa. And see, this is not a perception from people going to the embassy and just sitting there and getting to interact with the people at the embassy. It is just the perception from interacting with citizens, ordinary citizens working with ordinary Kenyan citizens working with others, citizens from other nations. There's always a perception. This is a good thing, but this can also be a dangerous thing. It can be our this tool of strength, but it can be what brings us down as a nation. And not specifically, I'm not just specifically talking about Kenya, but I'm just talking about generally every one of us. So, in the same way that people perceive and see how, wow, people of these nations have these particular traits, they are aggressive but respectful, or they are aggressive and disrespectful. So perceptions start to build. Now this is the danger. The danger is that many times we really don't even think we represent our nations if we are in other countries. I mean, I've gone to travel. I'm traveling for a week. I'm in a certain destination. I'm not even thinking I'm there as a Kenyan. I'm just thinking that I'm there as an individual. I'm out here. I'm having fun. But there's usually a catch. It leaves a print of these citizens of a certain nation. It is very beautiful when we now realize that, oh, I'm actually not just going in as just me, but I'm also going as my country. I can never strip off my country, my identity, my citizenship. Even if I've changed my citizenship and now I am carrying passport, which one and which one, or 4 passports. But as a Kenyan, there is a way that I'm still representing my country. Okay, for those of you who have different nationalities, different passports, well, then you represent all those countries that your passports talk about. So when I enter a space and I realize, oh, I'm actually a Kenyan, it is actually a good thing for me to represent my country. It is very important for me to make sure that I don't spoil it for someone else who in the future might need to visit or might need to come and stay and has no relationship with me, but I am able to create a perception about them before even they come. This is the beauty about being citizens, being ordinary citizens who interact with other citizens in different countries. And we are able to change the vibe, change the narrative, but how we ourselves carry ourselves. That's a beautiful part. Now, there is the flip side. Here's the flip side. If I have never met someone from Kenya, and of course I've heard about Kenyans, oh, they are amazing runners, they run like the world belongs to them, they are this and that, and then you meet a Kenyan, and then and then you meet, maybe let me not say, then you meet a Kenyan, and then you meet someone from a certain country who of course you have this perception about their nation, and then you start interacting, and what happens after that? They start treating you anyhow, they open their mouths and they have no respect for you whatsoever. They have a pride, but not a good pride, but a pride that trashes on you. They don't see anything good in you, or they start trying to, do strange, funny things near you. It actually starts to affect how this person was viewing people from that nation. Unfortunately, the word stereotypes and all these things are because of what we do when we are with other people, and they imagine, oh, everyone who comes from where purity comes from does the same. So we are actually ambassadors. We are diplomats. We might not be earning the salary or carrying those flags or driving cars with flags that are representing the nations that we come from, but we are ambassadors. Why is this important? Because first, we tour, we visit many countries. People crisscross every place of the world. Citizens crisscross every part of the world. And when we do that, we are going and putting prints of what other people think everyone else who comes from where you come from is like. So it should be my responsibility to make sure that I don't spoil it for someone else who is just innocent and just coming in. And so I should not make it hard for someone who has just this good intention to go to another country and, just wants to leave a good image of who they are. So I shouldn't spoil for them by tarnishing an image before they even get there. So what happens? Diplomatic relationships between leaders can be amazing. But if the citizens, whether visiting or residing or as foreigners in another nation, if they carry themselves in a manner suggesting that in a way that makes the host country feel like they are devaluing their nation, it is very likely that some diplomatic whips will be felt. Unfortunately, the people who actually feel this effect are people who really had no connection whatsoever to anything that was happening. And actually, people pay for that. You want to apply for a visa and you're wondering why your visa has been denied. You don't know what 15 other people who went before you have already done. And you come as the person number 16, you have not done it. That whatever it is that has caused the visas to be cancelled. But you are affected by it. So we all have a responsibility to carry our nations, wherever we are, with pride and in a way that allows generations after us, or even friends and other citizens from our nation to come and enjoy the kind of reputation that we've built in the nations we are at. And I'm sure someone is like, who cares about reputation? It really, really matters. It really, really matters. Because maybe someone is looking for an opportunity and they come into a nation that you are in, but you've marred everything. So whenever that person tries to get an opportunity, the only taste in the people's mouths is you who has already messed up the opportunity. How is this, you're wondering, how is this relevant? And you always talk about your experience in UAE and how you can travel and how it's fun. So this is why it's important. If you've ever applied for a visa, you just know that the money goes, it doesn't come back. You just hope that you will get the visa. So if it just happens that in that particular month you are applying for a visa, but your fellow kinsmen decided to go all out and spoil it for you, it is very likely that your visa is going to be rejected. It is very, very likely, depending on how that nation is that you are applying to enter. So why is it important for us all to make sure that we leave the path wide open for everyone else from our nations who want to, from our countries who want to visit the nations that we're from? It's just because it's the right thing to do. So what should you do with this information if you're thinking of traveling and you're not sure whether you're gonna just waste money or it's gonna work for you? First, you need to trust God that is the best move for you, and then ask if you're getting your visa processing through agents, just ask them how is the visa process for my nation and my fellow citizens. What's the history the visa is going through? Or should I now wait for at least the diplomatic tension to be addressed? The citizen diplomatic tension, the one we ourselves create for ourselves in different nations. Should I wait for that to be addressed first, or should I just proceed? Of course, then that means if you are listening to me and you're thinking, oh, my passport goes to any country without any requirements of visas, good for you. But you know what? Keep it that way. Someone else went ahead of you and made sure that your passport was able to walk into many countries and get a thumbs up, even without the need for a visa. So don't spoil it for your fellow citizens. And for you who's thinking, how can I then help? Maybe you can be the first one who will try to build a reputation for your nation. And who knows? As we proceed with life, as life goes on, maybe the generations after you will start enjoying a strong passport that can be able to go through very many airports without the need for a visa, or if there is need of a visa, it's not as stringent as it is. Of course, there are many, many things that also are out of our control, because you also know our leaders can also decide to wake up and just mess it up for all of us. So, yeah, there are very many aspects at play when it comes to diplomatic relationships. But we are the majority. If you think about the number of leaders in your nation and you think about the citizens in your nation, we are the ordinary citizen. In Kenya, in our Swahili language, you say, Mkenya kawaida, mtu kawaida. The ordinary citizen is the one who actually has the power to influence most of this. So next time you go traveling, next time you go, you relocate and you want to go into this place, you're not just doing it for you or your family, you're doing it for every other person who has the same passport as you. So make sure that you build the right legacy wherever you're traveling. We want tourists or residents or foreigners to have healthy touristic habits that leave doors wide open for those who are behind us. So, yeah. Go out there and be the best diplomat you can be for your nation. Go out there and be the best ambassador you can be for your nation. And who knows, maybe you're actually doing this for your children, or for your or for your siblings. But it's the right thing to do. Build a good legacy wherever you are for your fellow citizens. Yep. Have a lovely one. Here it is to diplomatic relationships. Make sure you're building the right one. Thank you.